Namaskaram. My name is S. Ashok Kumar. Welcome to my channel. In the last part, I introduced different parts of pituitary gland. Now I am going to start explaining about the pituitary gland with APG. What it stands for? Anterior pituitary gland or pars distalis. What is the unique importance of APG? It is a master and it is a master endocrine gland, endocrine part. So why it is called as a master endocrine gland? In our body, what are all the reaction, all biochemical reactions in our body directly or indirectly controlled by the anterior pituitary gland. That is why this is a master endocrine gland. This master having a master, this is a master, this master has another master, that is a hypothalamus. AP is controlling the all biochemical functions. The functions of APG in turn controlled by the hypothalamus. The next point is this APG releases the different types of hormones. Those include GH, growth hormone, PRL, prolactin, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, that is a LH and FSH. Means GH is also called somatotropin, PRL luteotropin, TSH thyrotropin, ACTH corticotropin, LH and FSH together called as a gonadotropins. That is why what are the all hormones released by anterior pituitary gland commonly called as a tropins. Tropins means the hormones are released by the anterior pituitary gland commonly called as a tropins. Now each hormone I will take and I am going to explain their biochemical effects. First I am taking the GH, that is a growth hormone. Actually, what is the target for the growth hormone? What we know, what is the target means? On which path this hormone shows its effect. The target for the growth hormones include bone and liver. The next point, the release of the growth hormone controlled by GRH and GRIH. GRIH also called as a somatostatin. This makes the release of the growth hormone. This makes stop the release of the growth hormone. Next, when you said growth hormone, it's biochemical effects or biological functions of growth hormone. When we said growth hormone itself, this is responsible for increase in height. Increase in height in children. That is a growing age. And responsible for maintain body mass in adult. So mainly this growth hormone is known for increase in the height in the children. When we said increase in the height in the children, that is nothing but bone elongation. So bone elongation definitely requires the calcium. That is why children in the growing age, they should take the calcium in the appropriate quantities. This growth hormone increases blood calcium level. When it increases the blood calcium level, automatically this calcium involved in the bone mineralization or bone formation, thereby bone elongation leads to growth, that is the increase in the height in the children's. The next one, effect of growth hormone on carbohydrate metabolism. CHO stands for the carbohydrate metabolism. This growth hormone responsible for hyperglycemia. What is the meaning of hyperglycemia? Increase in blood glucose level. What is the main reason for increase in the blood glucose level? That is a glycogenolysis. What is the glycogenolysis? Breakdown of glucose into glucose. So where this glycogen is getting stored in our body, that is in the liver. That is why I said the target is the bone and liver. So this growth hormone go and binds with the receptor in the liver, make the liver to break down the glycogen. Once the glycogen get break down into glucose, that glucose from the liver cells enters into the blood, thereby increase in the blood glucose level, that is a hyperglycemia. The next effect of growth hormone on protein metabolism. Protein metabolism. That means the children during the growth state, their growth state, body growth willing means a muscle development takes place. That is because of the increase in the synthesis of protein. That is why growth hormone shows anabolic effect. What is the meaning of anabolic effect? Increases the synthesis of proteins. Thereby muscular development takes place. That also you can come under growth only. The next one, effect on lipid metabolism. This growth hormone increase lipolysis. Means increases the breakdown of lipids, especially fat, that generates energy to the children. That is why this is a catabolic effect. Lipolysis, this is also catabolic effect. On protein, that is anabolic effect. That is why as overall, growth hormone shows the mixed effects. Means one way it shows the catabolic effect, another way it shows the anabolic effect. Next one is the abnormalities. Abnormalities with respect to of the growth hormone. For example, with respect to of the growth hormone, if there is a hyposecretion. Hyposecretion means what? Lower secretion of the growth hormone. Automatically bone growth develop very less. That is called dwarfism. Dwarfism. Children cannot grow physically. The dwarfism, the growth of the children is inhibited. That is because of the low secretion of the growth hormone. Next one is a hypersecretion. Excess secretion of the growth hormone. This excess secretion, if you take in children's, that bone elongation takes place, that is called as a gigantism. If you take adult, excess elongation of the bones, that is called as a acromegaly. So these are the abnormalities and biochemical or biological effects of the growth hormone. I am going to explain the prolactin, that is a PRL. This prolactin that regulated by the release of prolactin regulated by PRH and PRIH. PRIH is also called as a dopamine. Actually, prolactin, what is the main function of the prolactin if you consider? As we know, in this female mammary glands, that mammary glands containing that smallest part, that is the functional units of the mammary gland, as we know, those are alveoli. Don't consider the lungs. Lungs alveoli different, alveoli of the mammary glands. So once she became that after puberty, that mammary gland, that is alveoli, start developing. Then after developing the alveoli, those alveoli start secreting the milk. That development of the mammary gland, that is a maturation of the alveoli and initiate the secretion of the milk. That is the main function of the prolactin. That is the prolactin responsible for development of mammary glands. Indirectly, that is a maturation of the alveoli of the mammary gland and initiate lactation. That means my meaning is that initiate the milk production, or you can consider initiate the synthesis of lactose. Lactose is nothing but milk sugar. This is a we are considering this is the main function of the prolactin. That is the name is a prolactin. Initiate the synthesis of the lactose. That is a milk. The next one, this prolactin is also called luteotroph. Luteotroph. Why it is called as a luteotroph? You know, this hormone is during the pregnancy. This prolactin responsible for maintenance of corpus luteum. As we know, this is a play vital role. This prolactin responsible for the maintenance of the corpus luteum. That is why this is called as a luteotroph. As we know, corpus luteum, once it start maintaining, it start releasing the estrogen and progesterone. Those hormones are absolutely required for the maintenance of the pregnancy. The one more function of the prolactin is it stimulate oligodendrocytes. Like a Schwann cells, these oligodendrocytes also responsible for the formation of myelin sheath around the neurons. These are the some of the biochemical effects of the prolactin. For our exam point of view, remember the first one. After prolactin, next I am going to tell about the TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. The release of the TSH is controlled by, regulated by TRH, thyrotropin releasing hormone. What is the target? For the TRH means directly I can tell thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid gland consists of follicular cells. Target is a follicular cells of thyroid gland. What is the point you need to remember with respect to of the TSH? You know that with reference of the function of the TSH, simply remember that make you sense. TSH stimulate follicular cells of thyroid gland to release thyroid hormones. These thyroid hormones include T3 and T4. Remaining thing I will tell you under thyroid hormones. Remember like this. These thyroid stimulating hormones stimulates the follicular cells of the thyroid gland to release as the thyroid hormones included T3 and T4. After this TSH, next one is the ACTH. Similar way you can understand. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. This release is regulated by ACTH release is regulated by the CRH, corticotropin releasing hormone produced by the hypothalamus. What is the target? What is the target for this ACTH? You know, cortical cells of adrenal gland. So adrenal gland also consists of cortical cells and inner cell. That is why cortical cells. So what is the function you need to remember with reference of the ACTH? You know, this ACTH stimulate cortical cells of adrenal gland to release corticoids. Corticoids are a group of steroid hormones. Those include cortisol, aldosterone, that I will tell you under adrenal gland. Here remember like this. Adrenocorticotropic hormones stimulate the cortical cells of the adrenal gland to release as the corticoids. One more point with reference on the ACTH. You know, actually this ACTH is the protein hormone. This length of the ACTH is the 39 amino acids length, 1 to 39. Sometimes this ACTH, for example, you consider this is a first amino acid, this is the 39 amino acid, that is a ACTH. Okay. Sometimes these first 13 amino acid, 1, 3, get break from the ACTH. Then this one is acting as a alpha MSH. Means alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone. This one stimulates the melanocyte to release as the melanin. So for example, if ACTH excess release of the ACTH, sometime there is excess production of the melanin. That means hyperpigmentation of the skin. That leads to Cushing's disease. Cushing's disease is characterized by the excess hyperpigmentation of the skin due to excess production of the ACTH. Till now I explained some of the hormones produced by the anterior pituitary gland like GH, PRL, TSH and ACTH, remaining hormones of the anterior pituitary gland and the remaining parts of the pituitary gland. Now I am going to explain in the next part. Till now, if you understand this concept, you can like and share this video to your friends. Subscribe our channel. Definitely this video, this topic definitely they helps to you your NEET exam or board exams. So if you have any doubts, you can comment below. Definitely I will respond to your questions. Thank you.